Hello everyone. In this lesson we're starting an entirely new chapter about something in WordPress called full site editing. If this is your first time hearing about full site editing, that's okay. Right now our goal is to begin to answer the questions of number one, what in the world is full site editing? And number two, what in the world is a block theme? Well, I think instead of jumping right into a technical explanation, I think it's more intuitive to just look at a sneak peek preview of the finished product of what we're going to be building together in this chapter. So right now on screen, this used to be the fictional university theme, the traditional theme with PHP templates. However, off camera, I've recreated it as a block theme and it now supports full site editing. I realize we don't know what those terms mean yet, but right now let me walk you through some of the new features that this approach enables or supports. And don't worry that I built this off camera. The entire point of this chapter is for you and I to rebuild this together step by step. But right now, let's get a big picture overview of why it's interesting or useful in the first place. So, for example, in the past, with a traditional theme, how would you change the homepage content? Maybe you'd have to edit the actual PHP template files, or maybe you created an actual page in WordPress named homepage. And then you could edit the WYSIWYG main body content. But even doing that is not super intuitive for the end user. So when you have a block theme instead of a traditional theme that supports full site editing, watch how easy this is. You would just go into your dashboard, under Appearance, click Editor. By default, it's going to pull up the front page or home page template, and now you can just start clicking to edit. So imagine if I wanted to change this content, I can just click right here. If I want to get rid of the exclamation or add 3, whatever, I can change this subheadline. I can change this. Let me put it back. You get the idea. If I want this button to be medium or small or large, if I want to change the color for the button, just click on it. Use this button to slide out the right-hand sidebar. Maybe I want it to be light orange or blue. Let's go with light orange instead of dark orange. So I click Save. Well, let me actually add a change here so we can see it on the front end. So if I had 3 dots, click Save, refresh. Perfect. We see the light orange button and the new text. Also down below on the homepage, you can see we've got our upcoming events from our blogs and then a slideshow. So what if I wanted the slideshow to sit above this events and blogs area? Well, you can just scroll down in the editor. Here is the slideshow area. Just use the editor screen arrow to move that up. Click Save. Back on the front end. Cool. So now you've got the welcome banner, slideshow, and then the events in our blogs. I think you're already starting to see the picture. So the idea is that changes that in the past you might have had to make in a theme file, now you can just make directly from the WordPress editor, hence the name full site editing. Let's say I'm not happy with these changes that I just made. They are sort of weird changes. So you can just go back, click on templates here. Here's the front page template. I can just click this icon and click Clear Customizations, and it's going to go back to its default appearance and settings. Cool. Let's walk through another example. So let's go to an individual blog post screen or a single blog post screen. So if I visit a blog post, imagine I want to add to the very bottom of this template file. So right below the footer, right about here. What if I wanted a slideshow to sit here, or that upcoming events and blog posts area? What if I wanted that to sit here? Well, in the past, you would have no choice. You would need to go into single.php, right, and edit the PHP template file. But with a block theme, check this out. We just go into the template screen here, look for the single post template. Let's click on that to begin editing it. Because there's nothing truly dynamic or customizable about the header, the footer, or just the body content, I just have placeholder blocks here. We'll learn more about this approach of mine later on. But imagine right before the footer, I wanted to add something. So I could just click this. Let me begin to search for slideshow. So I'll insert my custom slideshow block. just for this example, let's create a slideshow with 2 slides, just so we don't spend too much time. So I'll add my first slide with a heading, and I'll say, the sky is blue. Let me make that a medium-sized heading. Below that, we can add a clickable button. We won't worry about where it's actually linking to, but let's just say learn more. Now, if we click on the slide itself, so this area with the black background, notice on the right-hand sidebar, we can choose an image. So you can choose one of your existing images, or you can upload a new one. I'll just click a random one. Cool. Let's add slide number 2. So you click on the overall gray area. That's the parent slideshow as a whole. If I click on that, you can see there's a button down here to add a second slide. So I'll just say slide number 2. We can leave that as a large headline. Let's add a button that says amazing. And let's make that button orange instead of default blue. Let's add a background image for the slide. Let's go with this building. So if I click save and then go refresh this individual blog post screen, cool. So there is the blog post content, and then down at the bottom, there is our slideshow with our 2 slides. The point here is that we modified this single blog post template without ever having to go into our text editor. And we did so in a way that's still consistent with the design language and branding of our theme. Right? These are the exact same slideshow styles that you would have seen on the homepage. For one final example, I want to show you how we can really get creative here. So imagine we were the end user or owner of this site and not a web developer. And imagine we wanted to create a landing page. So maybe just an interesting banner image area, a bit of text, and then no footer and no navigation links. Just a landing page, right? Well, check this out. If we go into WordPress, let me go back to the overall dashboard. Let's create a new page. So add new page. I'll name this page example landing page. Now here's the cool part. Under page template, I'm going to choose something called Brad's blank canvas. Now the name doesn't matter. I just made this name up. But if I select that, well, it's essentially giving me a blank slate. So check this out. If we add a paragraph that just says lorem ipsum and publish this page and then view it, cool. So there's no header, there's no footer, there's just our little bit of content. However, due to the nature of a block theme and the way that I've set up my specific block theme, we can use the power of composition, right? And just start adding whichever blocks we want. So let me get rid of lorem ipsum. Imagine if you did want the navigation up at the top. Well, I have a block called header. But if you don't want that, you don't have to include it for this specific page. So maybe we just want a banner area. So I named it homepage banner. I probably should have named it something more generic like just banner. But I can click that. Let me choose a background image. How about this dog? Let me add a heading. Landing page. Below that, we could even add a button. Learn more, make it dark orange. And then maybe we don't even want the universal site footer at the bottom of this page. Maybe we just want upcoming events and blogs, or any other blog. So maybe if I just search for events and blogs, add that. If I click update and go refresh, cool. It was that easy to create a completely custom template, right? There's no site-wide navigation at the top. There's no footer at the bottom. We just created a landing page, or you could have added any content you wanted. So over the last 5 or 10 minutes, we've seen that you could very easily edit the home page, right? We learned how to edit this content and rearrange this content. We've edited the single blog post template, and we just set up a custom landing page template. And we did all of this without digging into our text editor. So I am fully aware we have not answered the technical question of what is full site editing or what is a block theme, right? We haven't answered those questions from a technical or code perspective, but hopefully we've answered them from the why would you even bother perspective, right? Hopefully you've seen how the features that they enable are interesting or cool, or you could see how they'd be useful for your clients or your end users. From here, in our very next lesson, we are going to begin answering the questions from a technical perspective. So we'll actually start to look at the folder structure, the files, the code, so on and so forth. This should be a lot of fun. I'm excited to jump into this journey with you. So let's keep things rolling, and I will see you in the next lesson.